Wait, haven't you had enough comebacks? Go on, shift. Oh dear. How many more do you need? Oh dear. Right, hello everybody. Sorry about that. Leave your seat for a few moments and then somebody moves in and tries to take over. Hello everybody and welcome to a collections video, which is going to be quite contrasting with what is in the background on the Game Pantry monitor this week. Chef's choice is Wipeout 64 on the N64. Well, we're not talking about the N64 today. We've already done that one. So, yeah, that'll be sitting there in the background doing stuff, I hope, or probably just sitting there. I don't know. I haven't paid any attention to what's going on in the background. Oh, there it is, moving. There we go. Please wait. Why is it loading from the cartridge? Seriously? Okay, there we go. Right, yes, so it's a collection video. I haven't done one of these for a while. And this is going to be for a machine which... it's difficult to say how much love I've got for it. A little bit. More than some machines. Probably not as much as others. Oh, dear me. Get off. Thank you. Basil. Get off. Right. So it is, as you all know from the title card and the games, it is the Dreamcast. There we go. Noisy old thing that it is. Yes, not one of my favourite consoles, but not a bad console. I don't like it because it makes an almighty racket. I really don't like the noise that comes out of it. It's just too intrusive when you're trying to play something. But yeah, it's not. I've got three of these. It's not one of the best ones I've got. It's got a bit of yellowing on the front, which you probably can't see because it's bloody white and there's a window shining through there. But anyway, so you get an idea. It's a little bit on the yellow side, but not too much as it would be. Nice little function there which opens a disc. Oh, there's a disc inside. Bust and Move 4, which is a copy of. So this is one of those ones I've got. It was shipped or something like that, I don't know. I've got two or three. I've got Rez and Ferrari F355, I think, in a couple of the other ones. I think I may have lost a copy of Rez though, which is really going to annoy me because that's quite a fun game to play. Well, it's well built, well sturdy. It's got things on the back there. You've got the line out for the internet access. I've got the keyboard for it as well, and the Dream Key, so you could actually go online at some point. It also has got on the front here, which you may or may not be able to see there. It's powered, compatible with Windows CE, which is rather interesting. At the time when it came out, this was the whole thing forward. It was competing against sort of the PlayStation 2, which did have internet access, also a DVD player in there, which this doesn't have. But Sega had sort of blown it really with the Saturn and the 32X, or the 32X and the Saturn. They just sort of lost traction. Sony came in, beat them to the punch. Nintendo brought out the N64. It really was game over for Sega in terms of sort of making consoles. In fact, this was their last sort of hurrah into it, and of course it failed miserably because when this came out it was sniped by the PlayStation 2, and it sort of killed them stone dead really. Of course even the Xbox picked up some traction on it. These were being sold off, flogged off at ridiculous stupid prices. Like I said, I've got three of these. This one probably, so not the best example, but this was probably one I got back in 2009, 2010 for 15 quid. And the games I'm about to show you, most of those came in that bundle. I will point out any ones that didn't come through there. Just for those of you interested, this is the HKT-3030 model with a serial number of Delta Echo 0723826991. I'm sure that's very important to some people. They do like that. It also came with a really, really uncomfortable... Speaking of uncomfortable, that's really not the best position for the chair to be in. I'll put that on the floor. You can sit on that. There you go. It's your job now to monitor the Dreamcast, Mr. Brush. This horrible looking controller, it really did come from an era of horrible controllers. I know people sort of go on about the N64 and how great machine that was, but that controller was rotten. It was rotten. It really was. I don't care what anybody says. This thing here looks like something out of Star Wars. It should be a jet fighter in its shape, and something like that. It's got the, as you can see there, it's got the the analog controller. It's also got the D-pad start button there, 4 buttons here. Also got some rather nifty little triggers underneath, which are quite good. This thing stuck in here, which I can't get out and probably never will be able to ever again, is actually a memory unit, which goes into there. Again, you weren't able to save the games to the console. And there was actually an official Sega memory unit which used to go in there, and there used to be a little display screen on it and all that. But yeah, generally speaking, as a controller, it's pretty rank, to be honest. You need something to be comfortable with. You know, if you say Sony were doing the PlayStation controllers, weren't they, and how good they were, and incorporated the rumble into the DualShock pads, where the N64 controller and the Dreamcast one obviously had units you get to plug in the back to get rumble out of it. You know, when Nintendo brought that one out for the GameCube, that was like, wow, that is one of the best controllers of all time, that one. Right up there with the DualShock pad. But you can see what we moved from to in basically the space of sort of the same generation. You know, a couple of years is very, very most. That is a much, much better controller with its shoulder pads there and buttons there, and then you got that, and it's much, much better than that anyway. I'm not talking about the GameCube today. So let's talk about the Dreamcast and the games. I have a reasonable selection. There's probably going to be nothing here that's going to sort of wet everybody's pants. If it does wet your pants, please let me know. Always nice to know if I've got something decent here. I know there's a couple of decent games in here, and also there's a couple of sort of rarity, curiosity type things. The first one I'm going to show up is also, I'm going to talk about the boxes as well. There was also I just remember there's a rather fun attachment for the Dreamcast, which there weren't many, you know, sort of things like light guns and what have you been sort of phased out by this point. Very, very difficult to get hold of. I'm not sure if there were any light guns for the Dreamcast. I know there was for Saturn, because I've got one. But these sort of things were sort of going past. There was a fishing rod attachment for one of the fishing games, which is, I've always wanted to try and pick one up. I don't know why, just because I just like interesting bits of plastic. And then that sort of like vibrated and sort of gave the same impression of you actually fishing, possibly. I don't know, I've never fished, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, but there weren't anything interesting. I've got nothing else really to show. I've got the keyboard, say, somewhere else, and I've got 3 of those, one's in a box somewhere, but that's the one for display. First game I'm going to show you then is Dreamcast game GK Giant Killers, which is actually a football management game. That's fascinating, isn't it? A football management game on the Dreamcast. Now, a few years ago, in fact, when I first got this in the bundle, I was stunned to find out that this game was actually selling on Amazon for a couple £100. I don't think it goes for anywhere near as much now, but I think it's still probably in the late 2 figures worth anyway, between 50 and 100, maybe. I don't know, it may come down since then. And again, interesting cases of these Dreamcast ones, very well built, but they're an absolute bugger to keep in good condition, because once these break, you can't find anything that's going to replace that. So it's like the Saturn boxes. The boxes were incredibly difficult. You know, once they were knackered, that was it. It was incredibly difficult to try and replace them. Some of these are in pretty good condition. Some of these have got that problem. So nice boxes, and they look really good, nice spines, but they just didn't last very long. I've showed this one before in one of my all-time favourite pickup videos, which I did a few months back. So this will be familiar to some of you, and some of you will get quite excited about this one, which is going to be Plasma Sword from our old friends Capcom. I did say the other day something, but if you had Capcom, Sega, Konami and Namco, and got all their greatest arcade games, you'd have the greatest arcade that ever lived. Yeah, so this one came with the bundle. There's nothing in there. Where's the rest of it? Manual, and there we go. Manual and disc are at the back at this time. So again, nice and complete, which is always good to find. Again, a game I know nothing about, other than it looks like it's one of these Street Fighter side-on fighting games I hate so much. But yeah, so it's nice to pick that one, after that one in there, and actually just keep hold of it and not play it. This one's a bit more of a generic one. This is Worms World Party. I've got so many games involving the Worms characters. I've got Worms and PlayStation 1. I've got PlayStation 2, Xbox, Wii games for Worms. This is World Party. Again, you can see there's the disc there. Good news is the old manual's on the other side. Again, nice condition, this one. Just show you the back of that. There we go. So can't see an awful lot of these because they're quite squashed down. This is a game I quite like, and it's a bit of fun. I think this one might be without. I think it's got the manual in there. It's got the manual in there. This one I'm really enjoy playing, and it's also available on N64 as well. And this is Revolt, where you're actually racing sort of remote control cars around a circuit. It is complete. Yeah, there's the old disc and manual in there as well. Yeah, this is actually a lot of fun, this one. I really enjoy playing this one. Dig this one out again another go on that. It's really good. Well worth it, that one. Again, I think it's a fairly uncommon game. It's from Acclaim. Let's see. I've got an awful lot of games in this franchise as well. I was thinking about it earlier. I sort of got N64 games, I've got PlayStation games on it, and this is Quake 3's Arena. It's got a $4.99 sticker on top of that. That's not one I'm aware of. Be Impulsive. Somebody was, evidently, because they bought it. And you can see there's the first problem. You can see there's a bit missing off. There's a bit at the top there, but the bottom bit's missing. So I'll show you that disc there. Hastily put this back. It's also got a crack on the front of it, but when you're buying bundles like that, it's something else. Oh, there's 2 discs. Yeah. Why are there 2 discs? Ah, were there 2 discs this game? Can someone shed some light on this? Were there 2 discs for Quake Arena 3? Because I appear to have 2 discs. I don't know. Can't possibly comment on that one. And also what's happened on that one is the spine label sort of fallen slightly down, so you can't actually see what it says. I'm not sure why that's the case either. Yeah, there's the back of it. I played a bit of the Quake games on the N64, but never got a big fan of it. Never sort of developed it. Now this one I did buy separately. I remember I bought this when I went into Birmingham many years ago. This was before I started collecting properly. This is probably sort of... No, it must have been after I started collecting properly, because I wouldn't have bought it otherwise. I bought this in Conker's Live and Reloaded on the Xbox at the same time. I think I paid $4.99 for this one. And this is Metropolis Street Racer, which I'm not sure whether this was the precursor to the Project Gotham Racing series, or was related to that. I don't know. I could be talking complete bollocks, but there we go. It looked absolutely fantastic when I saw it up and running. It's also got one of these little booklets for all the games in there. There's some decent games. Ultimate Fighting Championship, Pod 2, Power Stone 2, Half-Life, Space Channel 5, Ferrari F355 Challenge, Jet Set Radio, Virtua Tennis, Ready for Rumble Boxing 2, Extreme Sports, and Sega GT. So, you know me, I do like a bit of a find in a box. There we go. It's not back in the way it was, but it'll go. Yeah, so that was $4.99 pickup many years ago. But that's quite a decent looking game, that one. I was quite blown away when I first saw it running. Next, I think this one is actually a bit of a decent old find. In fact, I'm pretty sure I forgot I got this one. This is Jet Set Radio. Now, if you've never played this game, it's sort of like a graffiti tagging type game. I only played it briefly, but this is a lot of fun. I've got Jet Set Radio Future, I think, on the original Xbox as part of the Sega GT bundle, which you got when you bought a brand new Xbox. See, they're great games new in 2001. I thought this was actually came out a bit earlier, but they maybe still be making games in 2001. What have they got in here? Let's see. Headhunter, Outrigger, 18-Wheeler, names, Crazy Taxi 2, Fighting Vipers 2, Daytona USA 2001. I love Daytona. What a great series that was. Sonic Adventure 2, Virtua Tennis 2, Confidential Mission, I'm not going to tell you much about that one, and Fantasy Star Online, which would be completely useless now. But yeah, I mean, this is just a vibrant, bright, colourful, off-the-wall game. You don't have to be into sort of skateboarding and graffiti and stuff. It's really good fun, actually. Really good fun. So, nice copy to have that one there. Again, decent box on that. All nicely, using that word, in pristine condition. Now, here's a conversion of an old arcade game which I played many, many years ago. Bit of a tatty old box, this one, but Retro Bears can't be choosers. This is Hydro Thunderer, which I played in the arcade, and this is not actually a bad little game, to be honest with you. It was released at the right time because consoles were powerful enough to do that sort of 3D. You can go back to something like Stun Runner. They tried to convert Stun Runner in the early 90s, which was a complete waste of time. But this is a really good game. It's got the old Midway name on the front, which obviously arcade giants that they were back in the day. And again, all complete, nice little condition, that one. Say box is a bit tatty across the label across the front at some point, which obliterated it, but you try replacing these boxes. Next up, I think this is probably the first one without a manual. Fighting Force 2, which I think came from Eidos, which it does. There we go, that's the disc inside, but I don't think this one has a manual. Oh, it does. It's the world's thinnest manual, but it's got a manual in there. There we go. Nicely done. Don't know much about this one. I think I've played it briefly. Yeah, it's sort of like shoot 'em up type game. A prototype soldier clone created to survive any environment and fight without conscience. There we go. Give you an idea. This is probably one of the most common games that came out for the Dreamcast. It was also one you could actually play online. I say some of these you may have noticed it will do so you can play online, but I think this whole purpose of it was to sort of get online and play against other people. And this is Choo Choo Rocket, which came from Sonic Team, and it's a fun little game. It really is absolutely fun. You've got to sort of guide the mice through a maze, escape the cat, and jump into the rocket to get off the next level. It doesn't get much better than that. Like I said, this game is common as muck. Not muck, well, not literally muck. It's just common beyond belief. And again, there's another one of these fold-out thing. Oh, there's a Shenmue advert in this one. Jet Set Radio. I think we've seen all those that are in there anyway. So yeah, all nice and complete again. But I mean, you can get this game for absolute bloody pence, but it's worth it. It is an absolute cracking game. Again, I say before, just because these games are plentiful and cheap does not necessarily mean they are bad. This is a good game. A lot of fun. You like your puzzle games? Well worth it. Now, what was that game in the console? Was that Buster Move 4? Yeah. We've got Buster Move 4 in the console. We've also got Buster Move 4 here. So I have not only the copied version but the original. That's a rarity, isn't it? Nothing in the front of that one. There we go. There's the original one from Taisho and Acclaim. And we've all played Buster Move at some point. It's the old sort of firing balls and knocking them down and clearing. It's all like Tetris with bubbles, really. And this came part of the bundle. I didn't pay £7.98 for it. But I paid £7.98 for it. But yeah, nicely complete as well. And a nice looking copy. Now that. Another sort of rare game which doesn't come up very often is 90 Minutes, which is Sega Championship Football. Again, I didn't pay $29.99 for this. I must take these labels off. They've been on there that long. Let's have a look. So, oh, it's a broken box. What a shame. But there's the disc. You can see. And just show you the other side. Again, I think there is a rarity to this one. I don't think it's particularly rare, but I think it certainly commands more than the usual prices for it. And yeah, I don't think I've actually played this one. I sort of clocked it down as a really bad football game, but I don't know. I do like my football games. Incorporating state-of-the-art visuals and art animation, which is so realistic you'll be handing out the oranges at half-time. Oh, really? 32 nation teams and club teams from all major leagues across Europe, so that sounds like it's worth a go, that. I might dig that one out a bit later. Yeah, 90 Minutes Championship Football, 90 Minutes Sega Championship Football. There we go. Right, second pile, not so many to go now, nearly there. This one's an absolute classic, and quite frankly, if you haven't got this one for your, the Dreamcast, you really do need to reevaluate your collection. This is the Virtua Tennis game, which I remember playing many years ago in the arcade. There was a pub near me, a broken box, you see. Pub near me had this in there, and I used to go home from work, grab a pint, finish my paper off, have a couple of smokes, and put a quid into Virtua Tennis. All good fun. Really, real quality tennis game. This one. Like I said, I hate tennis. I have no affinity for tennis whatsoever, but there are some absolutely almighty tennis games out there. This one features players such as Tim Hedman, Thomas Johansson, Carlos Moya, Tommy Haas, Cedric Purlin, Yevgeny Kafelnikov, Jim Courier, and Mark Philippoussis, which gives you an idea of how old it is. And I did actually get this from a charity shop, £1.25, top corner there. Can't probably see that there. No, I'm not going to let it focus in because I can't be bothered. But yeah, it's just great graphics, realistic graphics, and it's an arcade tennis game. It's not like a serious simulation, so you have the errors. You can sort of be a bit more flexible with it, and that's why it's more playable, much more playable. Excellent game, really is, and you should get Virtua Tennis for any system. I've got for PlayStation 3, I've got it for the PS2, I've got it for the Wii, Xbox 360. It's just a great series of games, and there's some bonkers mini games as well. Completely out of there. Right, what we got here then? Another football game, Virtua Striker 2 version 2000. Which again I played in the arcade. Mate of mine was absolutely obsessed with this. Every time he'd see it, he'd go in there and put a few quid in it. Again, broken box. And a disc that falls out. Goes to show that this is all live, not recorded beforehand. There's a problem with a broken spindle on that one. Yep. All the errors are left in. There is no margin for error. The errors are left in. Goes into the end of year outtake video, which is basically just sort of all the videos I've done. Does have the manual with it. Is that another flyer? Yeah, another flyer. It does have the manual with it. I'll show you the back of that. That spindle's actually, but I'm going to probably put that disc in the back there. As you can see. Oop. So everything falls out and falls apart. I'll just do this. But yeah, a friend of mine used to put, go into local arcade and sort of play. Actually, it was quite a fun game. It was from a very sort of strange perspective. But I liked it. In fact, I think we liked it quite a lot. We did spend a lot of time playing it. But I think then we'd play anything that was sports related back in the day. Big sports fans. Still are, really. But there we go. Sango's played Kick-Off 2 against Kick-Off 2 years ago, and then Sensible Soccer and all sorts. Classic game series. Here's his Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation. Not The Lost Revelation. The Last Revelation, featuring exclusive remix by Paul Oakenfold and exclusive artwork. And another broken box. There's the disc, which isn't going to fall out this time. Great to see all the... Actually, I'm not going to speak too soon. I'll say that in a bit. But there we go. Again, this isn't a particularly rare or collectible game. You can get this for a few quid. It is Tomb Raider. Everyone loves old Tomb Raider, don't they? But yeah, so all one there for the collection. Yeah, this appears everywhere, doesn't it? Tom Clancy games. This is Rainbow Six, the original one, which features the Eagle Watch missions. Bet you weren't expecting that, were you? I wasn't. Bit of a tatty old. You can see the front case. You probably can't see it. We can see crease to creasery. There's the disc there. I've got a feeling. No manual. I knew I shouldn't. I was going to say, I've done really well. Every game got a manual so far, apart from this one. Bit of a tatty old game, but who doesn't love Tom Clancy games? They are plentiful and rather good. It's not a bit samey, but there we go. It's a golf game, really imaginative cover. This one, you can see they spent a long time working on it. It's a golf club and a golf ball with the word tee off written above it. Long night at the office, boys, I expect. There's the disc inside. Like my golf games, big fan of Tiger Woods, big fan of leaderboard back in the day. I think I've had a go at this, not played it too much. It looks like it's very much in the style of Everybody's Golf, with the cartoon characters. Hopefully not like Outlaw Golf, which sort of took it to a different level. But yeah, it looks alright. I think I've played it briefly. Not overly memorable, but you can do a lot worse than that one. This is a good one. I bought this from a charity shop, Sydney 2000, based on the 2012, the 2000. I'm obsessed with 2012, the 2000 Olympics in Sydney. Buyer's tip: always make sure that when you look inside, it doesn't have a copy of Choo Choo Rocket. So, if anybody's got a spare copy of Sydney 2000, I have the box and manual for it. Anybody wants a copy of Choo Choo Rocket in return, you can have that for absolutely nothing. The price of postage. Got everything except the bleeding manual. Another interesting story about the Dreamcast, when I'm talking about interesting stories and boxes not containing something. I actually did buy a copy of Street Fighter 3 First Strike on the Dreamcast from a charity shop for £1. Only to get it home and find out there was a copy of Virtua Striker 2 2000 inside it. And the manual was missing as well. Really annoying that was. But again, tip there, always make sure you check what you're buying. Sometimes it'll be something completely different. Sonic Adventure, this is the first one, which when I got one of my Dreamcasts come with a box. I bought that, and this was inside it as well. I think I bought that and this for about £6. I think it was too bad at all. I mean, this game's about a £10 game, I think, anyway, maybe a bit more than that. Some shots there. Sonic Adventure. Lovely jubbly. 2 to go for you. A couple of real classics now. This is Space Channel 5. It's one of the most bizarre games. You never played Space Channel 5. You need to play Space Channel 5. It's one of the most off-the-wall, bizarre games that you'll ever come across. Sadly, I haven't got the manual with that one, which is really annoying. But yeah, it's all about aliens invading. You're taking control of the main character as a news reporter, and basically you dance off against each other. It's absolutely bonkers. It could only have come from Sega. It could only have come from them. And sort of my sort of game, because it's absolutely off the wall, completely ludicrous. But there you go. And the final game I'm going to show you, which is probably the worst conditioned Dreamcast game I've got, which is, I'll have to read the side of this one, which is Sega Rally Championship, which you can't see for all the bloody stickers on the front of it. Again, broken front cover, but there's the disc inside. I have no idea where this one came from. I'm pretty sure it came part of the bundle. And the back one's broken as well, you see, so you're just literally hanging on by a thread. This literal, sort of gravity, if that's such a thing exists, is holding this game in place. But it's Sega Rally. I mean, if you grew up in the arcades in the 90s, this is just a classic game. Absolutely immense game to play, really good fun. And that's it. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my Sega Dreamcast collection. I think you'll find there's some good games in there, and there's some interesting ones as well. And actually, in terms of sort of the condition, not bad at all, because some of the stuff I've got is missing manuals, or they've got broken boxes or whatever, but that one actually is not too bad. That Sega Rally one was arguably the worst one of the lot. There's about 3 or 4 games there where you've got the front is missing a crack on the bottom of it, and I think was it 2 of those are missing manuals, and what were there, probably about 20 odd games. That's not bad. That's not bad. I don't come across many Dreamcast games. It's not to say I wouldn't buy Dreamcast games. If I saw them, I would do, but so I don't have a great affinity to that machine. There would need to be a bit more of a loving if that was the case. But yeah, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed that sort of trip back in time there. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and tick that notification bell for more uploads that will be coming soon. But on behalf of myself, live from the Game Pantry, thank you very much indeed for watching. I do hope to see you here again very, very soon. Take care, and bye for now.